It's currently the Chinese New Year travel rush in China. In previous years, trains departing from Shanghai to various destinations across the country were always packed with people, with hardly a seat available. But a netizen shared a video showing an empty high-speed train departing from Shanghai, but some doubted its authenticity. To prove it, the same person boarded another high-speed train from Shanghai to Guangzhou, a route known to be the busiest during this period, and filmed the actual situation.
Last time people said my video was staged. Look for yourselves now. This high-speed train is nearly empty again, and I recorded it all in one shot. The train is running and we just passed Shuchang. This train is headed to Guangzhou, passing from major cities with typically heavy passenger flow, yet it's still empty. Everyone knows China's economy hasn't been doing well this year, but seeing trains so deserted during the Spring Festival travel rush is shocking. Could it be that Shanghai no longer has migrant workers? Let's take a closer look at Shanghai's current situation.
A netizen revealed that a well-known Shanghai mall built with an investment of 3 billion yuan is now struggling, with many shops closed and weeds growing around it. Netizens have claimed that many are calling the Shanghai Zendai Himalaya Center a ghost town due to its empty storefronts. One person visited the site to see for themselves. This uniquely designed building, the Shanghai Zendai Himalaya Center, was created by a renowned Japanese architect. Some have compared its appearance to the white-bone demon, describing it as eerie, likely because of the large gaping holes throughout its structure. According to the visitor, the shopping mall within the Zendai Himalaya Center is indeed largely vacant. They noted that the building's location in Shanghai's Pudong area is considered a prime spot. Across the street from the Shanghai New International Expo Center. Before the Shanghai National Exhibition and Convention Center was built, major events like the Shanghai International Auto Show were held here. The area, part of the Huamu district, is well connected, with the terminal station of Metro Line 7 nearby. It has historically seen high foot traffic and property values. The Zendai Himalaya Center was developed by former Shanghai tycoon Dai Zhikang, who in 2007 had a net worth of 10 billion yuan, landing him a spot on the Huren China Rich List. However, by the end of 2022, Dai was sentenced to 19 years in prison by the Shanghai No. 1 Intermediate People's Court for illegal fundraising and fraud. Upon entering the Himalaya Center, many note its unusual interior structure. Currently, the space is empty, and the atmosphere could be unsettling at night, making it an ideal location for filming horror movies. With no active businesses, the escalators have been shut down, and the handrails and steps are covered in dust, as there are no cleaning staff maintaining the premises. On the basement level, which was once bustling with activity, there's now no sign of life. The west side of the Himalaya Center backs onto residential neighborhoods, while the north side faces the Expo Plaza. Across the street lies the well-known Kerry Park slide. This area was once full of consumer traffic, but now the center is largely deserted. Netizens left comments. I went there for a New Year's gathering in early 2018, and even saw a movie there in 2020. It used to be lively. How did it end up like this? I live nearby. It started declining a while ago. I heard the previous owner got into legal troubles and no one took over. Some joked, it'll make a great hospital, a top-tier one. Another said, I think the Tian'an Thousand Trees Mall is even scarier. Curious about this claim, we visited the Tian'an Thousand Trees Mall to see why it's considered so eerie. The mall, nicknamed Shanghai's Hanging Gardens of Babylon, cost 20 billion yuan to build. Its design, featuring over 200 terraces, 400 staircases, 1,000 structural columns, and more than 1,000 plants, was created by maverick architect Thomas Wetherick. The annual maintenance cost for the greenery alone exceeds 60 million yuan. While an art enthusiast praised its unique exterior design, he was disappointed upon stepping inside.
Looking at the overall layout, it doesn't work. There's no sense of structure or flow, it doesn't feel like a proper mall. It's just not appealing. Like many things these days, the content doesn't match the flashy exterior. Content should be king. It's disappointing, truly disappointing. The mall is empty. Do you see that? This is the end result. Such a waste.
We've seen the stunning exterior of Shanghai's so-called hanging gardens of Babylon under sunny skies and its disappointing interior commercial environment. Now let's take a look at what it's like at night. A netizen shared their experience. I was walking down the street looking at my phone. When I glanced up, I was startled. The Tian'an Thousand Trees looks terrifying at night when the lights are off. This hanging gardens of Babylon may have cut costs on basic lighting due to its exorbitant annual greenery maintenance fees and poor business environment. It's no surprise that netizens have compared the way it looks at night to a massive graveyard. With two of Shanghai's most famous malls facing such struggles, what's the situation like at traditional shopping malls? A netizen working in the restaurant industry shared a video from the peak dinner time at the top floor dining area of a major mall in the Lujiazui financial district.
It's 8:45 p.m. and this is the state of the restaurants in Jiangda Plaza. Across from me is a hot pot place, barely serving 5 tables. For a peak dinner time, that's essentially nothing. A Korean barbecue place has less than a third of its tables occupied. A newly opened northeastern cuisine restaurant is completely empty. Even this famous Jiangxi cuisine spot, which is highly rated on dining platforms, only has 1 table occupied. Friends, it's 8:45 p.m. in the heart of Lujiazui. What's going on here? Restaurants usually rely on 2 peak periods, lunch and dinner. But here, even dinner service is struggling. Rent in this area must be astronomical. If hot pot places are this empty at 8 p.m., there's no second wave of customers. Who eats hot pot at 4 p.m.? It's tough, really tough. Lujiazui is supposed to be a prime location. If even this place can't sustain business, what can?
The foundation of malls and the restaurant industry is foot traffic. No matter how luxurious a mall is or how delicious its food offerings, they're meaningless without people. Right now, Shanghai's problem is a stark lack of people, which feels abnormal. Increasingly, people are asking, where's everyone gone?
Why are the streets of Shanghai becoming emptier? A man in a video poses this question, noting that apart from tourist attractions and hospitals, the city feels unusually quiet. He points out that even places like the aquarium, the city's famous 3 towers, and the Oriental Pearl Tower lack visitors. Meanwhile, rural areas back in his hometown also seem increasingly deserted. So where has everyone gone? Some say the poor economic climate keeps people at home. Others believe women are busy with live streaming, men are working as delivery drivers, and people rely on takeout and online content instead of going out. Another theory is that low marriage and birth rates mean fewer families and more single or elderly individuals. The video ends with the question, what other reasons could there be? Share your thoughts in the comments.
Netizens responded, it's simple, most people are struggling to survive. Who has the money to go to Shanghai? Everyone's staying home. I've been lying in bed for over a month. No wonder there's no one around. Honestly, I spend 6 out of 7 days a week lying around at home. In a conversation between a netizen and a Shanghai taxi driver, a similar story emerges. The driver observed that fewer people are hailing taxis. He also noted that many people are cooking at home instead of eating out or ordering food, reflecting a broader shift in spending habits due to economic pressures.
The current situation in Shanghai might shock you. I recently had a chat with a taxi driver, and what he shared was alarming. He mentioned that both ride-hailing drivers and food delivery workers are earning much less than before. Big companies are laying off employees and small businesses are shutting down one after another. Many office buildings are now empty and fewer office workers are commuting by taxi. When they get home, they cook their own meals instead of ordering delivery. The housing market isn't doing well either. In the second-hand market, even a slight price drop fails to attract buyers. Wealthy people are putting their money in the bank and avoiding spending, while those who want to spend simply can't afford to. The market has become highly competitive. Despite the pandemic being over for quite some time, Shanghai's economy still hasn't recovered. So what's gone wrong?
As China's largest economic hub and the headquarters of many foreign companies, Shanghai used to house a quarter of the foreign population in China. According to the 2021 census, around 164,000 foreigners lived in Shanghai, working across industries like technology, finance, and education. However, since the harsh 2-month lockdown in 2022, many expatriates have left due to the traumatic experience. Over the past year, at least 18 multinational corporations have announced closures of their factories in China, along with massive layoffs. Many foreign executives and their families have decided to leave Shanghai permanently. Once a popular gathering spot for foreigners, the Hongmei Road, Foreigner Street in Shanghai is now deserted. To attract Western tourists, the Chinese Communist Party has recently implemented unilateral visa-free policies for several European and American countries. They've also extended transit visa exemptions to 54 countries, including the US, Canada, Japan, South Korea, and Australia. However, these measures have been mocked by netizens as shameless and desperate for economic gains. Despite the efforts, the results have been minimal. The exodus of foreign investments has left many migrant workers employed by foreign firms in Shanghai without jobs. With the city's high cost of living and soaring housing prices, many of these workers can no longer afford to stay. A migrant worker in Shanghai expressed her feelings.
上海这座城市的人都去哪里了？
Where has everyone in Shanghai gone? Last month, one of my former colleagues packed up with her family and returned to their hometown. That's the third person I know who's left Shanghai. Many of us go back to our hometowns. These 3 people had worked in Shanghai for around 10 years, got married, and started families. But with no hope of buying a home in Shanghai and the cost of living being so high, including rent, food, transport, and family expenses, earning just over 10,000 yuan a month isn't enough to save anything. Over the past couple of years, with salary cuts, layoffs, and unemployment everywhere, even highly educated individuals from top universities are struggling to find jobs in Shanghai. So what chance do ordinary people like us have? They told me, back in our hometown, we might earn less, but we also spend less. In the end, we could save more money than in the big city. Plus, we don't have to leave our children behind to work, and we can take care of our parents. Most importantly, it's less stressful. Life in Shanghai has just become too difficult. I've been living and working in Shanghai for almost 20 years, and I can genuinely feel that there are far fewer people in the city now. Malls used to be packed on weekends, but now they're so quiet it feels like they're about to close. Shanghai once had a population peak of over 30 million. Now it's around 25 million. If Shanghai doesn't come up with strategies to retain people, the population will only continue to shrink. In response, someone claiming to be a government official posted online, encouraging talent from across China to settle in Shanghai.
上海快要没人了。
Shanghai is running out of people, and household registration restrictions have been lifted. The total fertility rate in Shanghai is 0.6, even lower than South Korea's 0.87. The city has relaxed rules for household registration, talent recruitment, and residency to household conversion policies to combat aging. If you're interested, message me for more details. Netizens have responded to the situation. Shanghai has no people left. Do you think other parts of China are any better? There aren't many people anywhere. Living costs are too high. Poor people can't afford to stay. Another comment reads, even Shanghai's local highly educated talents are struggling to find jobs. Why bring in people from other regions? It's probably not about talent. They're after money. Shanghai has seen a noticeable decline in its migrant population due to company closures, job losses, and the departure of many foreign residents for various reasons. Surprisingly, the local population in Shanghai's suburban and rural areas has also significantly decreased in recent years. Why is this happening? A video explores life on Chongming Island, a rural part of Shanghai.
住在崇明岛是种什么体验？
What's it like living on Chongming Island? Today I slept until 11 a.m. and now the sun is high in the sky. I got up and went to the town center to buy groceries, but there weren't many people around. Maybe it's because most people here are older. The fitness center is empty. After working out for half an hour, I went to buy vegetables. The market was almost deserted, and the streets were too. I decided to visit the mall. There are 2 large malls here. One has a milk tea shop, but it's closed, and even the Barbie bun store is shut. This is the town center's only traffic light, and there's a Shanghai employment office here, but I've never seen it open. This is the center of Dongping town, mostly a few elderly people around. Across the street is Nongguangshang, and next to it is the Lianhua supermarket. I'll check out the supermarket later, but it's also pretty empty.
Local netizens have noted that Shanghai's population has visibly decreased over the past few years, not just among migrants but also locals. Exact figures remain a state secret, making it hard to verify. Some residents mentioned noticing that many of their neighbors seem to have disappeared. Others shared that a significant number of people they know have emigrated from China using investment programs, undocumented routes, or other methods. Political commentator Cai Shenkun weighed in. The exodus of mainland Chinese stems from both political and economic reasons. For elite individuals, the primary driver is political. China's economy is undoubtedly facing major challenges. At the 2024 Economic Work Conference, the CCP declared economic issues a highly politically sensitive topic. Increasingly, economists who express routine opinions about China's economy are being censored, suppressed, or even imprisoned. This only proves that China's economy is on the brink of collapse. Over the past few years, wealthy individuals have been fleeing en masse, not just leaving themselves, but moving their assets abroad. Every year, a massive amount of capital leaves China through various channels. Meanwhile, those with fewer resources are desperate to escape to the US or other countries. The most significant immigration news of 2025 so far involves the Rong family, once China's richest and known as a prominent red capitalist clan. They've reportedly left Shanghai to settle in Canada. A viral video purportedly shows the Rong family packing up their luxurious 5-story Shanghai mansion, loading antique furniture made of expensive woods onto trucks. The video claims they cleared out multiple buildings, which were then sold off. Commentator Tang Jingyuan drew comparisons. When Li Ka-shing, once Asia's richest man, began withdrawing his investments from the mainland, it coincided with Xi Jinping's rise to power. 2 years after Li sold key assets in Hong Kong, the anti-extradition bill protests erupted, followed by the national security law that crippled Hong Kong's status as a financial hub. The Rong family's emigration mirrors Li Ka-shing's moves in scale and significance. However, it carries an even greater sense of urgency, making it a critical signal of deep instability.